During this month, a group of recycling enthusiasts created a program called Remake. Remake aims to push the limits and inspires others to see how trash can be transformed.
The one I was talking about, this one, and this one is all the plastic ones, you see?
Thomas Daimbo was the mastermind behind the project. This is his workshop.
More wood, and a lot of plastic tubes and old tents and the fat boards. And I want to involve other people in the recycling thing, so I want them to touch the recycled stuff, and I want them to eat it and drink it and smell it and wear it. So I just did this festival called Remake, where we had I think 3,000 people coming through, and they drank recycled beer and they ate recycled food and all the furniture and everything, all the dishes and the cups and everything, like 95%.
At this year's Roskilde Festival, Thomas collected huge amounts of trash with a team of volunteers. This is just one example of how Thomas obtains his materials. This act of searching through trash for discarded but usable objects is known as dumpster diving. Thomas's childhood dream of having a treetop house is what pushed him towards his first ever dumpster dive.
My whole life I've been building stuff from scavenged materials, and I've been dumpster diving and scavenging all over the place, and eventually this turned into me having this 150 square meters of workshop with stuff that are dumpster dive. De her møbler, vi har lavet. Du kan se, Silas står herude og er ved at lave en sofa, hvor der står nogle flere dernede. I guess the first time I've been dumpster diving, I must have been something like maybe 6 years old. We was making a treetop house, so when other kids were playing and making a small treetop house, I had to build a treetop house that was crazy massive and used 2 years to build it. And this was not possible when I was 6 years old, because we couldn't afford to buy stuff. So if I could go to a container standing on the street or standing on the corner of the supermarket and get all the stuff for free there, and I didn't have to move it so long, that was the only opportunity, so that was what I did. So this is kind of like how I started to do it. My mother, she told me this when I was in kindergarten, that and I was going to cut out a Christmas heart with a scissor, and like a kid does, the kid takes the wooden board and makes the heart in the middle and cuts it out, and then there's only room for one heart on the whole piece of paper. And then my mother told me, if you put the heart in the corner, Thomas, you can make a lot of hearts all over the paper. So this is what it is. So this is like the same principle that I'm doing now.
Gathering all of this equipment is not as easy as it sounds. Thomas gives us 3 tips on how to become a professional dumpster diver.
If you want to be an expert dumpster diver, rule number 1, when you go from point A to point B, go through point C. And the next day go through point D, and so never go the same way each day. Go a new way every day and never be afraid of going in places where you can just go. So go in behind the houses, go in and look down in the containers. You can go a lot of places without breaking an entry. So if you do this every day and you just use like a little bit of time on exploring, then you see a lot of stuff.
This is Peter Brandt. He is working here as an intern and speaks very highly of the work that Thomas does.
Before this, and I think for the first time in my life, every morning when I go to my internship, I'm really looking forward to it every day, so I'm really happy being here. I mean it. He's a good teacher in many ways, and I've learned a lot here. After my internship, I spoke with him about just staying here, hanging out, because I love to stay here. I really like being here a lot.
Yeah, we like having you.
Thank you.
Sometimes Thomas will work on a big project like this one. To create awareness, Thomas puts together sculptures on a grand scale and places them around the city.
But it's a bicycle stand that is an urban garden. So this was strawberries, but somebody ate them.
With the help of volunteers, Thomas has now been able to turn a hobby into an occupation.
My whole passion with the building stuff from recycled things, it just comes from within. I just love to create, and it was just spawned from not having money to do it, and now it's become so trendy that everybody does it, so now I can actually make a business out of it. Austrian guys, and it was in Berlin, and then it was at Roskilde Festival, and then I cut it up and made it into these fragments, and now it's a wallet.
However, this isn't just a job for Thomas. Through his work, he aims to push the limits and inspire others to see how trash can be transformed into something that is unique, creative, and meaningful.
I'm trying to turn my trash into art and designs that are trendy and nice, so they get more value, and at the same time teach people about that trash is a treasure.